The spiritual, the mystical, and the supernatural. This book was originally written as 5 different volumes. A Bible college based in Georgia, I put it together for their college into one volume, this one thicker volume. And we deal with a lot of issues related to the spiritual realm, how we release the spiritual realm into this natural world. Reading from the back description where I break up the various issues, we say what exists in the spirit realm, how people access that realm, discerning things in the spirit, activities of witches, psychics, and New Agers, spiritual impartations and influences between people, out-of-body experiences, interpretation of dreams, angelic and demonic visitations, understanding supernatural phenomenon from a biblical perspective. So those are some of the issues that we cover in the spiritual, the mystical, and supernatural. This book is now used as a textbook in several different Bible colleges, and it's studied in a lot of different Bible studies. But if you're interested in understanding the spiritual world, how we access it, and how it influences us, then this would be an excellent read for you. It actually developed out of my own passion years ago when my wife and I were pastoring a church. We left the pastorate over 25 years ago. When we were pastoring the church, I became very interested in understanding divine healing, the miraculous, angelic visitations. I submerged myself in studying a lot of the books related to that, trying to learn about individuals in the body of Christ who've experienced much of that realm. People like John G. Lake and Smith Wigglesworth, Amy Semple McPherson, Catherine Kuhlman, John Alexander Dowie, William Brannan, all the ones who we would call generals in the faith concerning miracles. Well, that just created a deeper hunger in me. So I committed myself to a 3-month period of prayer during that season of my life, and I had a visitation of God that absolutely changed my life at the end of that 3 months. I quit the pastorate and went on the road traveling, but during the following 4 years, I entered into a Christian mystical lifestyle. Now that mystical lifestyle, you can understand that word either in a positive or negative way. When we just say mysticism without the Christian context, it can be a very negative thing. But I spent 4 years dedicating myself every day to many hours of prayer in Christian mysticism. Now, in the right context, Christian mysticism is a positive thing. Throughout the last 2,000 years of church history, we've had various individuals who have felt called of God to separate themselves from the daily affairs of life and seek His face, giving extended periods to fasting and praying and seeking Him. Well, for a 4-year period, I prayed quite a few hours every day, and I had a lot of supernatural spiritual experiences, things that I didn't understand. And I came out of that time in my life with more questions than I had answers. That's eventually what I was doing when I was putting this book together. I was seeking answers to understand things that I had experienced. I sought out leaders across this country, and because I've been able to travel to many other countries, people who've seen supernatural in other regions of the world, especially third world countries, a lot of miracles happen, trying to understand how we relate to the spiritual world and how the spiritual world relates to us. So that's what this grew out of. It grew out of my passion to understand many of the things that happened during my 4 years of living as a Christian mystic. But now I believe that God's allowed me to be able to explain things to others, to help them understand their experiences, whether it is angelic, demonic visitations, whether it's out-of-body experiences, whether it is experiences in different times, whether it is simply understanding how does God relate to this world. All these things we've tried to explain. This is the 2nd edition. We no longer offer the 5 volumes that this once was, because we put them together in here and we have edited it, make it easier to read and easier to understand. So if you're interested in understanding the spiritual, mystical, and supernatural, then you'll get a lot out of this. So pray over it, see if this is where God leads you, because it'll take you to another dimension, and you will experience the spiritual dimension in deeper ways and with deeper understanding than you ever have before.